All right. Welcome, everyone, and happy International Volunteers Day. I'm excited to see you. I am very grateful for everything that you are doing. And so today we would like to just celebrate you and to celebrate all the achievements of the think tank, of the lockdown economy, of this 2020, an unpredictable 2020 together. And I have it in my program that I'm supposed to say welcome for 5 minutes, but I don't remember what I was going to say. So then the next list on agenda is for Massimo to list all our great achievements. So I'm just gonna over to you, Massimo. Wait, okay. I remembered. I was supposed to say that today on this call we have the think tank experts and fellows and lockdown economy volunteers, the social digital marketing, the interviewers, the transcribers. So it's going to be an interesting conversation, hopefully. Over to you, Massimo.
Yeah. Well, I think congratulations is in order. Yeah. Besides the Sinter class, obviously, but congratulations is in order because it's the volunteer day, and in all what has happened practically since the beginning of this, we are all volunteers in this. We all participate one way or another, and we do what we can, to contribute to do something that is very, very, very important. Why is it important? It's important because we are addressing something that is called an institutional gap. It means there is a void in the capability of the governments, of the countries, of the institutions to capture the qualitative data from the layer of the population of the countries that contributes to 50% of the economy in the world. And that is the people who work by themselves, the people who have a little family business, the little company with 5, 10 employees, 20 employees. In some countries, they say up to 100. But, well, we know that anyway, by statistics, the numbers tell us that the rate of success is the same for a big company than a small company, historically, over the last 30, 40 years. So we know a lot about the numbers of this layer, but we do not know what really happens. So what happened when the interviews were captured in the recording is that this became a point of interest for the schools first, and now even a couple of institutes, of research institutes, are looking at the content of the video to extract what is called not only semantics, but also sentiment analysis. And don't ask me the technology behind it, because it's more complex than what I know. And I know a great deal about computers, but it's even more complex than what I know. So we need somebody more expert than me to explain it. But they can see if the level of stress in the person, depending on the audio, the type of emotions, and in the interaction, if there is something that, there's something underneath. Besides, the capillarity of our research gets everywhere. I mean, Julia, do you have the map?
Yes. Let me share the screen.
We just uploaded our information into a Google map. And
it's visible,
so
right?
you see, we arrive in places that are really, apparently they're all disconnected between them.
Sorry.
But
Sorry.
Well, it's still a bit cranky, the map, right? But we arrive to places where normally we don't get. We are at home. Yeah, from a satellite you could see this. But in reality, when we see our faces, we are in the houses. We are in the place where normally nobody enters. And that creates a certain familiarity. That creates a connection that is different than the connection that you can have over a simple phone call or when you go visit a business.
And just
because
to give
these
you
are all business people. Anyway, congratulations. That's what I wanted to say. And maybe, Julia, have you explored the map?
Well, yes. So just to give you an idea of what you see on this map, everywhere where you see the little AlterContacts is where we have our experts or our fellows in the world. And the little hearts are our volunteers of the lockdown economy. And the little hats, like the academic hats, are representing the academic institutions and universities that we have signed a memorandum of understanding with this year to collaborate on lockdown economy and on the think tank projects. So it's really quite impressive. I'm trying to zoom in a little bit. So you see in Europe, for example, we are in many places, but also in other places of the world. And the link to this map will be shared after our big celebration. So I'm just going to stop sharing for the moment. And now, this year has been really unpredictable. So 2020 for everyone, you know, it's been ups and downs, more downs than ups sometimes. But we managed and we went through it with grace and optimism. So we have something, you know, as a group, as a think tank, as a lockdown economy, we have a lot to show for what has been done. And I think the most noticeable is the lockdown economy initiative, where we have interviewed now more than 100 small business owners in 7 different languages in the world. So that's pretty impressive. Now, there were also other things that were done. For example, in the beginning of the year, many of our experts were giving talks both internally in the think tank and together with Anawak Mayab for the students, which was a great contribution to their development. We published the online discussions, you know, we hosted the online discussions about sustainability issues and many great things. Now, and of course, this year, the think tank received Bronze Award as a nonprofit organization of the year, another Bronze Award as a startup of the year, and a Golden Award for the lockdown economy for helping over 8,000 entrepreneurs to get ideas for their businesses. So that's all very exciting. And of course, we got registered by the United Nations as Acceleration Action Towards Sustainable Development Goals, and we got recognized by the United Nations as an NGO. So a lot of great things, and all of them are thanks to this power of the group and the power of the good energy and the good work that we put into it. So now I think we have.
I would like to finish the story where I started.
Yes.
Because, you know, I get back to the topic sometimes. For those who already know me, sometimes I get back to a topic. So what happens after all the research is done, the qualitative research on the population that are entrepreneurs and small business owners? With that, the Institute can feed back to the governments, the institutions, you know, the municipalities, so they can create better laws, better rules, legislation, financial systems, support systems for these people. So that's where it gets back. Yeah, it is not only about receiving prizes. Yes, it's nice to be the hero of the year because of the COVID, of course, and we have to celebrate it, right? But the beauty is that if this moves forward in the way that we are doing it, once we get to a few more hundreds, this will give already information to some places, some countries, to actually think how to modify their laws, their commercial agreements, maybe, or the tax system. So that's the end of the story.
Okay, well, I don't think it's the end of the story, but I think for the moment. And I see now that, if I'm not mistaken, we have 12 people, so that's a very good number. Hello to new joiners, Anna and Sujan. Very good to see you. And so let's keep it interactive, right? Because Massimo and I were talking for 15 minutes now. Okay, so what we thought we could do is a little round robin. At this point, I can introduce everyone in this group and this call, so which is great. Maybe I will introduce you briefly, and then you can share with everyone. Yeah, Massima?
I don't know, maybe we can set a rule for a short introduction that can be
Sure.
short, so
Yeah,
we don't
we
go
can.
like,
Yeah, we can
not
do,
like me.
So basically, let's share, you know, because it's the first time these groups meets together, right? Because you don't know who is this and who is that, and let's find out. And I think only one question, you know, share like a tiny bit of your background, and I only want to pose one question: is what is your, well, it's optional. Either what is your motivation to participate, and I think that's more for the lockdown economy. And you know, what do you feel like was the biggest achievement of the year of our joint work with the think tank AlterContacts? So you can choose either that or that. You know, share something with the group that you think will present you. And I will start with Dacia, because Dacia this year have helped us very much of connecting to different people here in the Netherlands, and reviewing my text and helping us to publish an article in the newspaper that had 30,000 copies. So Dacia, why don't you introduce yourself very briefly and share the question, share the answer to one of the questions.
Yeah. My name is Dutch van Rijndam. I am Dutch, as you can hear by my accent probably still. Well, after living 22 years in Africa, on the African continent, I lived in Uganda, Kenya and South Africa. Yes, I'm a business impact developer. I love to be involved with projects at the base of the pyramid, to be honest. That really is my passion, how we can help especially women and youth to start their own businesses, and especially social businesses, social enterprises, because one of my main issues in life is to be involved in business, but in the point of view from doing business, doing good. Why I be a part of AlterContacts is I saw that they didn't have really a lot of people on the African continent yet. So I thought maybe then I can bring in my knowledge from that perspective. And because also I think Africa will be a continent to watch out to, because of the lots of young people on the continent. And yeah, and also I have still my Dutch connection. So what Julia said, maybe I can assist her with that, to connect her to people and to assist her with some editing. And yeah, that's my story.
And you have done so far excellent job, and it is really, really very much appreciated. Thank you so much, Dacia, and thank you for sharing your story as well.
Yes.
I saw that Sandra put a thumbs up. Sandra, does it mean that you want to go next? And you know, if anyone else wants to go next, you know, by choice, you know, put a thumbs up or raise the hand or something like that. Give me a sign. Sandra.
My thumbs up meant that I applaud Dacia. I found that is amazing what you shared, and I felt humble, I must say, because I became aware. Okay, why did I join this call? I wanted to see you guys again, because in the early days of AlterContacts, I had the pleasure to be invited into this group, and I've seen it shift so much since those early days. So who am I? I'm Sandra Schmold. I'm located in Amsterdam, and I am a coach. I'm working with corporate professionals, but also entrepreneurs, basically on building their mental fitness, which is something that can help you a lot in challenging times like these, like a lockdown, when all of a sudden you're faced with differences in everything, actually, in your entire life, in your business, and how you need to do things, and to help those people realize that they can empower themselves actually to tackle life with a positive mindset, which is really the biggest difference actually you can have. And then you can shift everything around it in the world around you. So this is why I'm here. I'm also doing free coachings whenever it's needed, and I see, you know, people are really struggling. So this is basically my share in terms of the volunteer work. I cannot claim that I have done a lot recently here. Well, I was interviewed lately for the lockdown economy interviews, and I loved that, to talk with Rosie. And yeah.
Yeah, but you know,
curious.
the interview you did is a big contribution to the wealth of the project. This is one of the stories, you know, that we're collecting, and you know, I know that you are very actively participating in all of the different events when they're happening. It's just this year has been a little bit unusual in this regard. But thank you very much, Sandra. Indeed,
thank you
for your, you know, continuous enthusiasm. And now that we have heard from two of the think tank experts, I would like to ask our very brand new joiner to share a little bit about herself. So Deepti, are you up for the task? Deepti is our new volunteer. She joined last week as part of the United Nations volunteers, and she is helping us with transcribing all of those beautiful stories that are shared in the interviews. So Deepti, floor is yours.
Thank you, Yulia. So I'm Deepti Sharma and I'm from India. And see, right now I feel very overwhelmed that I'm talking to you guys and you guys are doing great. In fact, the task that you assigned me was so great that I felt, you know, that I'm somehow contributing to whatever has happened in this year, in 2020. I mean, with lockdown, with COVID and everything. So I really wanted to contribute in some manner. And I found this great opportunity about AlterContacts on UN Volunteer. So I found it was the right time to do something about it. So right now I've started as a transcriber, but I would like to take on a more active role once I get to know more about you and the work you do. And about my background, if I talk about it, so I've completed chemical engineering from a university in India itself. And see, I was always a very active in communications. I was an avid debater when I was in school, and also in my college, I was very much active into public speaking, anchoring, and everything. I was I was a speaker for Indian Society for Technical Education. So from there on, I thought that I can do something good in business management. So right now, I'm trying to get admission into a good business school in India itself. And hopefully once I graduate from there, I would like to be a part of system in such a manner that, for example, if I talk about recent time, digital divide is a very grave concern in India. So I would like to work towards that, because since everything from the social experience to education, everything has moved online. So there's, you know, still a major portion of India's population which does not have access to the digital infrastructure. So I would like to work towards that, and hopefully I will gain some very good experience after, you know, transcribing the wonderful interviews you have, and hopefully learn from all the new budding entrepreneurs and get to apply that in my life later on.
Thank you, Deepti. This is
So
wonderful.
That is all I would like to say.
Oh, this is really inspiring. Yes, indeed. And I see the people clapping, and it's true. It's such a beautiful motivation. And thank you so much already for the work that you've done. And I'm hearing from you that maybe you are even a good fit for the interviewer. But we discuss it when we have our chat in the next couple of weeks. So thank you.
Hopefully, thank you.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you so much, Deepti. And you gave me a really good bridge by talking about digital divide. I now want to hear from Natasha, our digital marketing hero, the person who joined us, one of the very first volunteers on the lockdown economy back, I think in end of July, when I was just like overwhelmed by all the tasks that I had on my plate and like no idea how to proceed with it. And she just took over a huge portion of the work that needs to be done. And it's very much thanks to her organization and her work and her efforts. We now have over 8,000 views across our different social media channel of all the video, of all the interviews. But of course, interviewers help as well, because they always ask their guests to share the video. So it's a joint effort, but Natasha definitely has been instrumental in achieving it. Natasha, you're here.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
tell us.
Hello, everyone. I hope you see me well, because my internet is not so good. I'm in Germany. Yes, but originally I'm from Russia. And I joined Lockdown Economy project at in August, I think at the beginning of August, yes, and we started to like develop this project, like not almost from scratch, but the promotion part, yes, it was. So, and I'm trying to tell people about this project, about interview part, because I really understand how it's hard to run their own businesses. And for example, if you know how to run it during like 2-3 years, but now we have this pandemic time, and so you just don't know how to like find the new way of finding some new solutions. But this interview, it's a way to show people how they can break this loop and like see other type of opportunities, how they promote this. And like, yes, my part is promotion, and I can speak more about promotion way and how we can help businesses. And if we find like another way how we can help them, of course, we just implement this. And I'm like waiting how we can do this like, in a new way. And also I hope that I helped a little bit with some new collaborations with universities and new companies, because it's really important just to spread our knowledge and just give them opportunity also to help us, because this is like a huge project. Yeah, and my background, yes, my background is project management, IT project management, and product marketing management as well.
Thank you, Natasha. And I do feel very lucky that, you know, by chance, you know, we found each other, because the work you have done is just unbelievable. I want to ask you, do you know how many posts have you done about the lockdown economy? Yeah, I know, I can see your face, but like give a bulk figure, you know, is it 100? Is it 500? Is it, you know, tell us the bulk figure.
I have no idea, but if I see the opportunity where I can post this and how I can tell people about our project, yes, I do this. I do these. Sometimes I post, yes, some videos. Sometimes I post some posts about the invitation for interviews. Sometimes I post only just Instagram account because I see that these comments tree is very just, how to say it, like I can help people there because they are small businesses and they also can be part of our initiative as well. Yeah, just,
well, I think,
do like every day.
Thank you. But I think if I have to imagine a number of how many posts you've done since the beginning of August till now, I think it must be more than several thousand posts.
Yeah.
It must be. So it's pretty incredible. And, you know, we're not just promoting the initiative in the work Natasha does, she's promoting the interviews. So she's promoting the people who participated, which is a pretty incredible thing. Thank you so much, Natasha. And and actually, it is thanks to the endless ideas that I cannot even follow up on that Natasha keeps sending me. We got our collaboration with the Nepalese Young Entrepreneurs Forum and Sujan. That's an excellent link. So Sujan, I want to introduce you. He is our interviewer in Nepal, and he really came through the Nepalese Young Entrepreneurs Forum, the Kathmandu chapter, which the connection there happened because Natasha said, hey, you should reach out to these people because you should do something together. And so I did. And so we're doing it now. So it's over to you, Sujan, and just share with us a little bit. Are you there, Sujan? Oh, and of course, at that very moment, we go on mute. We go on some sort of technical issues. All right, we're going to come back to that. Now, one of our recent joiners, and I see at the top of my screen here, John Peter. We are yet to see the interviews, but John Peter has joined us from the Netherlands, our very first volunteer to be doing the interviews in Dutch. So it's over to you.
Thank you, Julia. Yeah, my name is John Peter, living in the Netherlands and not in Amsterdam. There's another part of the Netherlands called not Amsterdam. I live in the northern part near Eems Delta. I finished actually my first interview yesterday. It will be uploaded later today. And I've got 4 more planned, so that will be done. But it'll also be done in, when necessary in German or English. It's okay with me. And I'm a business marketeer, so a consultant. Anything else want to know?
Well, just maybe what has motivated you to join us?
The networking. I like to see the world as a rather small globe in the universe, and meeting people from all kinds of the world, all kinds of lives, all kinds of ages and gender and whatever. It's just fun, and I like business.
Well, that's wonderful, and I think indeed through interviewing people and through talking to them, you get to meet even more new. Increase your network, and I'm very, very grateful. I am so keen to see those videos. I can't wait. All right, and then over to also one of our new interviewers in Hungary, Laszlo. He's joined us a couple of, no wait, how long ago? You will remember, Laszlo.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a bit lost. But he's already sent, I think, 3 interviews by now, even one in English. And yeah, now we're building up the Hungary series. So over to you, Laszlo.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Laszlo. Yeah, as for my background, maybe to start with, I was first trained as a lawyer and then worked in the civil service in Hungary. Then I moved to the Netherlands. I lived there for 2 years until this summer. I worked there, and I also took a master course in public policy. So actually, this volunteering is it's very much connected, I think, to public policies. As far as I know, this whole initiative. So like working on proposals for decision makers is part of the program based on the interviews. So this is one thing, one reason I joined. Also, I'm a job seeker. I also like to meet more people and spend my time like in a meaningful way and like contribute to these common efforts, against COVID and tackling this whole issue. So yeah, I'm very happy to be here and meet you guys. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Laszlo. And indeed, with your background, I think what you're doing in the interviews is very much a practical application of the theory of the public policy that you have. And hopefully, with your help, we will start translating those findings, at least starting from Hungary, into the policy recommendations. And let's see how that think tank initiative evolves on that part.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Excellent. Now let me see. Another interviewer we have today is in Indonesia. Carlina. She is a teacher, but I guess she'll tell you more about herself. She's also already recorded 2 interviews. I think they're very, very interesting. One is with it, but why don't you also correct me if I'm wrong? So one is with the shoemaker, right? I kept telling people, imagine a small business, imagine this, imagine that, imagine a shoemaker. And finally, I have my interview with a shoemaker. So thank you for that especially. And now over to you, Carlina.
Okay, thank you, Julia. Hello, everyone. I am joining this event from a small city in Indonesia. It's called Magelang. Magelang. The city is Magelang. The country is Indonesia. I prefer to call myself as a university teacher. I usually use that term. Prefer to another term, lecturer. I prefer to use a university teacher. So the reason I joined this initiative is because my interest in sustainable development goals at first. So I am trying to do some research about sustainable development goals in Indonesia. So and then I browse everything in the internet, and then the browsing take me to the United Nations volunteer website. So and then I read everything in the website, and I see the offer about will you be a volunteer, and then I scroll down, scroll up once again, and then I see this AlterContact think tank when they The description is you should interview the small business entrepreneur in your country. And then I said, oh yeah, in this kind of situation, this pandemic situation, everyone needs help, everyone needs to be heard. And then I see around me, my students and their parents, most of them are small business entrepreneurs. And then I decide, oh, I have to apply. And then I applied. Julia said, okay, you can join. I start my interview. I start to record my interview. So that's the story why I joined this initiative, actually.
It's a beautiful story, Carolina. Thank you. I especially liked the bit where you said, I went to this website and then I saw this and I thought, oh yes, we should do it. I like, because I haven't actually asked, what was the experience, with the United Nations volunteering platform, but it's very interesting to know. And speaking of, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of the wonderful, very interesting guests that you are inviting. I keep it up. I really like that. So we have Sujan back. Sujan, now Nepalese Young Entrepreneurs Forum, Kathmandu chapter. You're representing it here. So tell us about your background and why you joined us.
Hello, everyone. I'm really sorry about dropping off over there. It's almost as if the internet knew exactly when to mess up with me over there. Hopefully it doesn't kick me out again. But my name is Suzan Lal Manandar. I am the local interview host for Kathmandu, Nepal. Born and raised here. And my background is marketing. So I'm currently doing my master's in marketing as well in a university here. I've been associated with a few companies where I've done marketing for, I started out with a company which did it for road safety. And then I got into digital marketing after that. And this year has been crazy. And I was actually between jobs for 3 months in this year. And that's when my friend Prathna contacted me. I had worked with her earlier, and she's a member of NYF, which is a entrepreneurship forum in Nepal. And actually, my story is a little bit different and weird because I did not know what I was signing up for. So she contacted me and she said she needs someone to do interviews online. And she said that I could do a good job. And I said, okay. And I didn't actually know what the project was. And she asked me if I've done any similar thing before, and I said yes, because I used to write business article for a magazine here, and I've done similar sort of stuff before, but I did not know about lockdown economy and AlterContacts back then. And it's Prathna who introduced me to the project, and when I came on board, I found out what the project was about, and I really fell in love with it. I watched Julia's interviews on YouTube, and I thought that it was a really interesting project, and I got more and more into it because I really like meeting new people, and that's one of the reasons why I'm involved in marketing, and that's one of the reasons why I did articles back then, because I feel like you can learn a lot from other people's experiences, and people who come from different backgrounds, and they have a lot of stories to share. One person, you can only be exposed to so many sectors when you're working in a single area, but when you're speaking to different people who come from different backgrounds and different sectors, you can learn a lot about their organization. And I took this as an opportunity to do that as well, learn about other sectors, learn about entrepreneurs and how they are functioning during the pandemic. And doing these interviews has really helped me get a positive outlook to 2020, because a lot of this year has been very crazy. But talking to these entrepreneurs and these small businesses and how innovative they have been and how creative they have been to keep their businesses going on, it's really helped me get a positive outlook in 2020. And I've had a lot of fun, and we have many more guests lined up, and yeah, much more fun interviews to come.
Thank you, Sujan. Thank you. I'm so grateful also for the words that you said, because it's like a balm on my heart, and that it affects you as well by hearing how optimistic and positive your entrepreneurs that you interview are. So we are all connected. We're all in it together, and yeah, if you look at the YouTube channel of the AlterContacts, it says, you know, it has the original series, then the world, and I think the Nepal must be like the 3rd playlist because it has already more than 8 or 9. Oh wait, 10 it's already, right?
We've done 12 interviews so far, yes.
Oh my
So we
God,
did one,
amazing.
yes.
Do I have them all? No.
We don't have the latest one.
Yes, yes, but never mind. It's an incredible work. I mean, it's already going beyond 10, and you know, if interviewers here on the call will know that it's so much work that goes into every single 15 or 20-minute conversation. And yeah, thank you so much for that. And who do we have next? Let's see. I have a face that I haven't seen in a while. Maiko. I'm talking about you. Maiko is the fellow in the Think Tank AlterContacts. She has been doing a master's in what is it, Maiko? If you unmute yourself, you can tell us. And she's based in Rome, according to my latest information, which was a long time ago. So, Maiko, it's over to you.
Well, a lot of things changed. Hello, everyone. First of all, I joined here today because I missed you very much. And I knew that I was gonna receive this amazing energy and see these awesome people who always manage to inspire me so much. And it was very much needed. So I'm happy to see you today. I left Rome already. It's the 2nd month that I'm back home in Georgia. I was living in Rome when I joined AlterContacts. And I am very, very happy to see how you guys dealt with in this year with lockdown economy. I was following posts and news and your success, and it would uplift my soul so much in this really, really difficult year for me, not only for me. But anyway, it was one of the brightest moments as well that kept me positive and very hopeful and inspired to listen to these stories and see, as always, how much you care and how many people you managed to unite around this idea. So I'm very happy to be today here and listen all your stories. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Maiko. And you know, since you're now in Georgia, what I hear is, you know, we can have a Georgian interviewer. So keep your phone up and open because I'm gonna reach out to you. And you better respond.
Great idea.
Okay, I'm just joking. I'm not that scary, really. I'm going in no particular order, so don't take it in any kind of way. I see that we have 2 more people who haven't spoken, and I would like to start with a lady, if Juan Ramon permits. Ana Lucia. Did I say it right? Ana Lucia.
Yeah,
right?
That sounds good.
Yes, perfect. Yeah. She just joined us last week as a transcriber, doing an excellent job already, and we are yet to meet in person, but please share what you would like.
So my name is Anna. I'm based in the UK in Brighton. I found AlterContacts through the UN volunteering platform, and my background is like writing, editing, that kind of thing. So in my work, I like to give voice to experiences and different kinds of experiences. So this project with AlterContacts seems really cool because it's giving voices to small business owners. The business, actually quite big businesses, kind of international and things, so it's not as small as I thought. But because this year has been obviously upside down, and in the UK especially, the businesses that have been most vulnerable to the impact of that, and who've gone either way, who've really struggled or who've really thrived because they've been super creative and they've adapted and changed in ways that they hadn't thought of before, is small businesses, because they they have the power to change quite quickly because they are maybe managed by one or a few people. So it's not like a huge corporation where it like kind of has to filter down all the levels. It can kind of adapt really quickly. So I was really keen to listen to these interviews and see how different people have responded, whether either challenges or adapting or growing, and what kind of difficulties and opportunities they found when they've been faced with this sudden, unpredictable thing that also has changed throughout the year. So it's been really interesting, and I've only transcribed one interview so far, but I'm looking forward to hearing lots of other voices and just being able to sort of facilitate that process of having the voices be heard in different platforms and in different ways. So yeah, I'm really happy to be involved.
Thank you very much, Anna. And I'm thinking, can this be an interviewer as well? Because because we don't have anyone actually based in the United Kingdom who is asking local businesses about how they're doing, knowing the local circumstances. So, but we're gonna park that till our conversation in the next 2-3 weeks. All right.
Sounds good.
So, and as promised, Juan Ramon, are you ready to close the round robin?
I love how you're rolling your R.
Well, I'm a Russian, so what do you expect? All right, Juan Ramon is our think tank expert. He is the owner and founder of the single origin coffee brand RE that works with sustainable farmers in Mexico. Okay, I hope I introduced you well. Shoot.
Well, hi guys. I'm based in Belgium. I'm from Mexico. And well, during lockdown, of course, my main business at the very beginning was just to trade coffee. So there is a lot of excitement, what is in between, but sounds pretty boring, like just trading, like, buy coffee from one farmer and put it in a roastery. That's if you wanted to see like that. What we wanted to do from the very beginning was to create our own brand. And basically to make an end-to-end brand. And we knew it even before lockdown that we need to manage how to make this digital. The reason why I joined the think tank is because I get to know Massimo in Geneva a long time ago. And then I get to know Julia in Amsterdam after visiting a client over there. And well, I knew that they are looking for, in a way, to digitalize businesses and to make a better world somehow. And things, since long time ago, I have been listening to them, and I really like their energy, how enthusiastic they are. And sometimes I apologize with them because sometimes they want me to be more active, but it's impossible sometimes because there is a lot of things I need to handle. But now. The reason why I joined here is basically to know how they are doing, to know you guys, all the volunteers, because it's important, I think, to network and to know what we are doing and to then try to together make a strategy how we can support each other in the best way and why not get benefit of it. I mean, that is the whole purpose. In my case, sometimes I cannot be that active because sometimes as business owner, I need to take care of boring stuff like taxes, finances, and things like that. But I'm really looking forward into the next year to be more active digitally. I need a lot of promotion digitally, and it's good to know what is out there, listen to fresh new ideas to actually get in track, because we are developing a new line of coffee. We're developing biodegradable compostable capsules as well that we're going to launch in 2021. We are working together with a Belgian company to see how we can take these capsules back and they can actually make capsules again, because there are two types of chemical, basically, or two type of chemical materials for capsules. There are one called industrial biodegradable compostable capsules, another home compostable capsules. And the goal that we want, because we really believe that we want to get to a better world, is to actually be able to capture funds so that we can have research and our R&D investments for become those capsules from industrial compostable to home compostable, which is like dream, and that is possible if we use the right materials. But and I mean, at the end of the day, there is a possibility to actually have impact in the industry. So we are small players. We work more, like, as I said, as a trading company right now, but we want to excel our operations and reach out different geographies around the world And through the map that I saw that Massimo and Julia show, I think we're in the right place to have exposure. And of course, takes a lot of time to create at least the business in the country, because right now, luckily, we are already expanding a little bit in Spain and in Italy, having our own commercial agencies. And that can happen in different countries, little by little. But the important part here is to learn from what you guys have to offer, all the effort, what you have done as volunteers, all the people from the think tank, because ideas are the new currency, basically. Ideas flow, and if you are able to capture those ideas and to make them happen, is where you can have the value of it. And I see a lot of potential of what Massimo and Julia have been doing. Sometimes maybe they don't perceive it, but I follow as a stalker that I am, because I'm chasing those ideas. And this is what I'm doing. And on top of that, sometimes because of course the lockdown hit a lot the HoReCa sector, restaurants, of course, had a really impact in what I was doing, especially with trading, because, for example, I used to trade coffee with companies that address fully the HoReCa sector. So I felt it. So as well, I do time to time some consultancy for some organizations worldwide in the subject of IP management. And it's pretty interesting because I see some people from India. So I have been developing some strategies for my compendium of technologies in India, in agriculture. Maybe you know, it's a university in Karnataka state, and there is another organization called National Research. I will write it to the girl. Maybe I can put you in connection together. So I have been already working a lot with an organization around, it's an organization in Geneva called World Intellectual Property Organization. So that is, like I have been doing this like an aside project to also be a consultant as well. So I have the two sides, like sometimes provide small consultancy projects to connect basically people and connect expertise in specific technical fields, and at the same time pushing on a daily basis my entrepreneurship and endeavor with the brand called Re, like with the rolling R.
That's wonderful, and I think you're wearing two hats at the same time, and that can be a bit confusing at the first meeting. But I like always how you have so much passion towards what you do and your company and your ambitions. And I think thank you so much for sharing. I do have to cut it.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's perfect.
No, okay. So what I was gonna say is that, okay, I didn't forget anyone on the call, right? Okay, good, very good. So what I was gonna say that Juan Ramon just offered us a wonderful bridge to the next part, which, you know, I have all this list and program and agenda, you know, forget about it. We're just gonna keep it nice and sweet and short so that you can, you know, go into the day and have that positive energy that we're sharing with each other. So one thing that Massimo and I decided to share with you today is about the ideas. You know, a think tank is a driver of change. So since we're all participating in it one way or another, as experts, as fellows, as volunteers, we all are the driver of change, and we can make it even more impactful if we start exchanging ideas more actively. A bit like Juan Ramon said, ideas are the new currency. I really like that phrase. I might use it somewhere else. So what we would like to introduce to you is that if any of you here have an idea and you think you can do it, or you think it's just a great idea, it addresses a social issue or addresses something that you care about, some problem, but you don't particularly have energy to work on it, but you just have it. Massimo, and I'm gonna give the floor to him in a moment, has developed a special form where anyone can, you know, log that idea. It will come to us, and then we can see how we can like put a working group around it or something else. Massimo, do you want to say a few more words about that form or about the concept?
Yes, but looks like from the iPad, I'm not able to share it actually, but I can explain the concept. And by the way, a big applause for everybody for saying all those nice things, because it's fantastic. It's fantastic. It just gives back from all the times that that we are connected to the computer, you know, that we are there reviewing and writing and resharing and thinking about how to reach more places and so on. So thank you very much. Julia, do you happen to have the form maybe on your screen that you can share?
I honestly don't
think so.
In the meantime,
I explain, you probably have the link.
I don't think so. I don't think that can be easily arranged, Massimo.
Oh, well, then I will just explain the concept. The concept is a concept that works in every business or in every activity that has an exchange of value in any moment, from the beginning of an idea all the way to when it's a big corporation. And it's about framing solutions that are, first of all, necessary, desirable. Yeah, do we know someone who needs these type of things? Does that person know that they need it? Yeah, and of course you say, okay, where do the ideas could come from? Sometimes they come precisely from our interviews, like, you know, the last question, which is the 3 things that you might need the most. That's one source. There's another source, which is inside of the interview. When you hear the story of each one of the small business, you can see what was missing, or what they really needed the most, or what is still missing. Sometimes they say it very clearly. So we're gonna start getting lots of ideas, and that's why I said, okay, we need to kind of see how do we assess them and help, right? So the fact that exists a need is a very important thing, because it makes it desirable. Sometimes it's not only the need, sometimes it's also if the possible user also likes the solution, or if it is maybe fashionable, right? But let's start with the need, which is a good one. Then, of course, we have to see, is it feasible? Yeah. Sometimes people have a great idea, but we are not capable to do everything ourselves, right? I might think how to bring, I don't know, a spaceship to the moon, but I don't know how to build a spaceship myself, right? Actually, I think maybe I would have problems growing tomatoes, although my grandma was growing tomatoes. So probably that knowledge is still somewhere inside. But you see, in the form, we get precisely through very simple things. It's checkboxes. Can you please scroll up here? So the form will look at something very simple. It has instructions, what kind of idea or proposal it is, you know, so a few other things. Let's go now towards a bit below. Okay, is it desirable? This does not mean that an idea does not qualify if it does not tick all the boxes. What is important is that this triggers the thinking. Do you know someone who needs this solution and is aware of the need? If that box is checked, it's already something that gives you the reassurance that, okay, this idea maybe is well accepted. Yeah. Just like, for example, the last one of the factible, it can be done without draining resources from the environment of ecosystem. That is a tick in the box that is very important, because many times innovation becomes a drain of energy or a drain of other resources in the ecosystem. It is very often that without a bad intention, industry supplies a solution, or commerce supplies a solution, even government sometimes, and they think about the immediate result, but they do not think about the next impact or the repercussions of that afterwards. Like, for example, synthetic clothing. Synthetic clothing was a good way to lower the cost of the wool and other things for making clothes and send them everywhere. But we never thought that 60 years after, we have microplastic everywhere in the water of the planet, because we have been washing synthetic clothing in the washing machines and in the waters everywhere, right? Okay, so the next, is it viable? Viable refers to, is there the money? So let's scroll a bit. And that's why I don't see, because I have all the videos. Okay, and viable, it's about the dependencies. I mean, do you know if it has an impact on something else? or there's something else that benefits or is required. Yeah, estimation of costs, right? And if you have an idea of how long it could take. But as you can see, we are not asking that the person needs to make the idea come true. That can be done as a team, or can be done if somebody wants to take the idea up. That is what's most important. Now, after that page, there is another page that we do not need to look at, is basically very simple questions. What is about, that's where you can write all about it, yeah? But the first part is very important. So the idea is we collect whatever everybody can spot that can be needed. In the second page of that form, you can write all your thoughts and all the thinking how it could be happening, and then we collect, we group, we try to have conversations to find possible solutions or on how to apply it, or propose them to authorities, to governments, to municipalities, and why not to companies, to others who want to open a new business. Why not? Because if there is a need of a service or a product, somebody should do it. Somebody should benefit from it. Yeah. Because don't forget one thing. If you want to help an entrepreneur, if you want to help somebody who works by himself or herself, buy their services. That is the best help we can have. We want to work, right?
And that's a great spot. I see. Okay, that's a great spot to I think finalize the explanation about the forum, because we don't want to put people to sleep. So I think briefly you understood what the forum is about. But the point is, we are all a think tank. If you promote something, if I would say the lockdown economy is organized by Julia, well, who knows Julia? What do I do? What credentials do I have? You know, what is it? What do I represent? But if I say the lockdown economy is organized by a think tank, people are like, oh, a think tank, a research organization, they have experts, they have brains. You know, not that I didn't have the brains before there was a think tank, but okay. It's, you know, sometimes it just makes the impression to the outside world. And often when we try to launch an idea, that's all it needs. And what we are trying to create is the channel for you all to use the fact that we have created the think tank to be able to promote what you want to do and be able to make your ideas come true. And on that note, I think we're going to start the wrap up. Wait. Does anybody want to share anything, you know, before we close the call? Because in general, we already shared everything, but if anybody wants to say anything else, then please do.
Yeah, I would like to say thank you very much for this conversation, and that we meet each other in person, because someone I know from interview, for example, John, yes, but some of you, I just see you also the first time, and it was really impressive to like hear your insights as well. Why you're here and why you want to like share the idea of lockdown economy with other entrepreneurs as well.
Thank you very much, Natasha. That was indeed a great conversation. Anyone else? Yes, Dacia.
I would like to ask you, because I saw some institutes that you managed to get in, 7 institutes over the world. What kind of agreement do you have with them, and how are they going to use the information, and what is your purpose behind it?
So we have signed a memorandum of understanding, which is more or less a blanket agreement that we would like to do something together. It doesn't always say what it's going to be, because it says we will agree on project per project basis. With some universities, for example, Anáhuac Mayab University, we have already started doing things together. So we use the lockdown economy stories in 2 of their MBA courses. And one of the MBA courses was built around bringing 5 entrepreneurs from our think tank who participated in the interviews and connecting them with 5 groups of students and jointly addressing the business challenges of the pandemic, which was a great experience. And right now we are doing a course with the university in Albania, Epoca University. And during the 3 months, a group of 120 bachelor students are going to interview Albanian entrepreneurs, then to transcribe those interviews, and then do operational analysis on what are the challenges during the pandemic. And we are preparing similar things with universities in Spain, in Colombia, in Romania, and we have signed an MOU with the Research Institute in New Zealand, which also going to help us to collect the insights from local entrepreneurs in New Zealand and do the qualitative research of what they're collecting. And eventually we hope to go to the next level and be able to put together the policy recommendations in this sort of consortium, you know, of our experts, of our volunteers, of the universities and research centers we work with.
Julia, I have a question. Do you have a list of all the collaborations that you're doing with universities? You have already mapped it out, or?
Well,
it's pretty interesting, actually. Yeah,
I think so. I mean, on the site, on the website of the AlterContacts, in the partners page, you can see all the different partners that we have across the world, also from before the lockdown economy. And on the lockdown economy itself, we try to keep the partners page up to date, put in the right logos of the right places. Oh yes, I forgot to mention that we have actually a collaboration with Erasmus. Erasmus University, Rotterdam. A couple of students from Erasmus University are going to write their thesis work based on the lockdown economy. And one particular student will be looking at gender equality, impact of lockdown economy on the gender equality through female entrepreneurs based in the Netherlands who participated in the lockdown economy. So Sandra, you're one of the people who she's going to be looking at. In another one, we have at the moment, we have an intern who is writing his master's thesis on luxury marketing, you know, trying to position the think tank as a boutique advisory and lockdown economy to philanthrops and, you know, all sorts of ideas from the Toulouse Business School. And I'm sure I'm forgetting something because there's just so much happening. Any more questions?
Yeah, so Yulia, I would like to ask you, for example, you're interviewing such great people who are into business and entrepreneurship. So apart from the interviews, do you also help them, overcome those challenges like practically, on a practical basis?
Well, that is definitely our aspiration. So the help starts from, you know, when you interview somebody, you first it's intrinsic, you ask them to reflect on how they're doing. So often that, you know, boosts their positivity because they're like, oh, but I found a way out of this, I found a way out of this. Then they get the visibility. That's another benefit to the small businesses through a channel which is not a commercial channel, you know, through a non-profit channel where they can share their story and build that rapport with their potential customers. And then what we heard from many people who participated and whose videos we shared, that people who are their friends who watch their interview, they come back to them and say, you are so inspiring, man. You have so many ideas. How did you do it? I mean, and they feel inspired by that back reaction to them. So we don't hear that from their friends, but they hear it from their friends. And so this is how it starts. And then of course, the connections between the different entrepreneurs that are happening and the fact that they can contribute to Sustainable Development Initiative, which we try to send certificate to all the participants. It's a little bit of a backlog at the moment. And then, of course, from transcription, yes, thank you, Massimo. From transcriptions that we get from our volunteers, we can pull out the educational components. So what can we learn between us entrepreneurs from that? And we have at the moment one volunteer educator who is looking at her own interview from a position of what are the lessons that she can share with others, and, you know, creating a bit of extra background and giving extra resources around it. And then, of course, the next step is policy recommendations. So from the needs across business sectors and geographies, what are the specific target measures that can actually help the small businesses. Not, I'm going to give you 1,500 euros for 3 months and that's the help. It's not the help. It doesn't cover anything. It doesn't even cover, like literally, it covers nothing.
It would be easier to cut down a little bit the taxes.
Yes, it would be easier if they have done that, but this is the measure that they did in the Netherlands: 3 months, 1,500 euros, for which, you know, many people don't qualify. But the point is that we don't want to criticize them. We want to help them to see what are the intrinsic measures that can be taken to help small businesses.
Okay,
Does that answer your question?
Yes, sure. Thank you.
Any more today? I see that light is like really funny on me.
I have one question, Julia.
Yes.
And one of the questions in our interview is, what is the outlook for the business in the upcoming months, right? And I saw some follow-up interviews on the channel as well. So can we do that more? Because some of the interviews I've done, it's been a couple of months, and like some of the things they've mentioned in that interview, they've actually implemented. Like some of them said that they only operated online and they were going to start a physical store, and now they have. Some of them have opened their physical stores. Some of them have contacted me and saying that, you know, some people have reached out to them after the interview. So can we do some follow-up interviews as well? Or
yes.
Can we do something else regarding that?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Something else is a very good option as well, because we also get some ideas from interviewers in Spain. By the way, Juan Ramon, Maya in Spain could be a very good connection for you, because she works on biochemicals analysis and stuff like that. So that can be a think tank collaboration. But to your point, Sujan, we do follow-ups. And for example, the thesis work of our student will be based completely around doing follow-up interviews with people who already spoken in the Netherlands, about females that have shared about their businesses in the Netherlands. Now, you are more than welcome to host also them in Nepal. I would suggest, you know, waiting 2.5, 3 months between the previous one, so that they can see a little bit of a dynamic, really what's happening, you know. But Massimo, maybe you want to add something to this.
Yeah, because that gets into precisely the analysis then, and understand through the evolution, because this has become something that is like looking at in a laboratory, something that is alive, you know, like if you look at the sea, yeah, the fishes in the sea, they move and all that. So if you check often, you might know if the dolphins pass by the same spot a few times, and then you may see in the spotting, in the history of the entrepreneur as well. Okay, what is happening outside? Is the water getting more cold? And what is the entrepreneur doing? Is he trying to swim faster, or is he trying just to cover up? And we are all in that situation, but it's happening in different moments in different countries. So at this moment, we cannot say 3 months, 2 months, 4 months, but something in that range. Something in that range. I expect in some places it will be faster, because some economies, especially the economies that are simplified, that do not have too much administrative red tape, the informal economies, they happen day by day. They can test an idea in 2-3 days, and they can build a business in hours sometimes. In some countries, it takes you 1 week to open a business.
It's actually a good point, because if somebody interviewed us about the lockdown economy, like in the beginning of June, then 2 weeks later, like a month later, it's something different, and 2 weeks later, something else is happening. And yeah. So it's true, Sujan, that maybe you know, your interviewers from the very first episodes are already ready to share with you what happened with them, as long as it's not week by week, because then you're going to get tired.
And yeah, then they become then become a soap opera, and then it's a different story.
Yes, well, it may be one of the options, you know, for the future. Any more questions? Yes, Laszlo.
Can I?
Oh, I see Carolina also wants to speak. Carolina, okay. Let's do you first.
Actually, I have 2 questions, if that's okay with you. The first one is, do you receive my third recording, Julia?
I think that I can answer in an email a bit later. I'll check the forms.
Okay. The second is I have a plan to interview all the 3 interviews together. Can I do that just to ensure that to provide them the forum so they can interact each other?
I think that's something that is a good idea. We don't do that yet, and I would like you to pause with that initiative. We've been hearing that from a few people who also want to host those things, but we have to wait till January at least to see what is the next step for the initiative and how we're going to organize it across all the geographies. Because for the moment, we have the format that was approved by the United Nations. And there's very little flexibility on what we can do beyond that. But we definitely have a lot of ideas, and I will note it down, and we can pick it up maybe in a month with you, okay?
Yes, and Carlina, to reassure that this, we really think about this, because it is important precisely to create the forum and conversations. Matter of fact, another expert of the think tank is testing roundtables online with entrepreneurs and with businesses, and I think Sandra has participated in some of them, I think. And there are, we just need to have the process that is as clean, at least, as what we have for the lockdown economy now, because otherwise in different places we're going to have something different, and then we cannot use it for research, we cannot use it to learn from. That is the danger of diversification. Just to tell you one thing that seems minimal, but from Mexico we have the videos with the countdown at the beginning. We have to edit all those videos every time we receive them. We have to remove it, but they really like the countdown.
When they appear on the YouTube, it starts 30, 29, 28, 27, and then people on YouTube have such a small attention span that we have to go and edit the videos. So any change, and even minimal change, it really disrupts.
Minimal change causes a lot of work, a lot of extra work, especially. And it might not fit into the format that is registered with the proper authorities, and so we need to build the format for the conversations in group, and then we can do it. That is the answer.
Yes, but we are definitely thinking about that, because it's not the first time that we are approached with this idea, and it's definitely in the air. We just need to find like the easiest, simplest, most replicable and yet efficient way to bring these people together to
and
really
we want to do it.
And we want to do it. So let's keep the brainstorm open. All right, Carolina?
Thank you.
Thank you. And Laszlo, you wanted to
ideas are welcome.
Yes, ideas are welcome through the form, which will be shared with you.
I also have a question, Julia. When I give the floor to everybody, but
yes, can I go to Laszlo first, and then to you, Juan Ramon?
Of course. Yeah.
All right. So just an idea came to my mind, and actually it's connected to the format of the interview, what we are using. So this is a format which is about interviewing single business owners and single businesses. But is it possible? Do you think it's possible to apply this format with a slight change to interview business associations? So it's like basically we could have the very same questions or very similar questions, but not about not about a specific business, but about their members, what they see, how they see their membership, how they struggle, how they tackle, and actually what they do as an association to help them, and how they see their prospects and etc. You know, we know the format. So
we are looking at something like that, and it is where the association then finds a potential volunteer within the crowd, the group, that is willing to produce the interviews from because if you filter the information and you just ask to whoever is in charge of the association, they will not tell you what happened inside of the mind of the entrepreneur.
I think the simple answer would be, if the association is registered as a small business and has less than 25 employees, then it can go as a small business itself and talk about its own challenges, like, for example, membership fees are falling or something like that. But if it's bigger than that, then we can do what we did with Sujan and Nepalese Young Entrepreneurs Forum, because this is exactly the model that we used there. We partnered up with association, and we did joint branding. So for every post that comes out, we say, Sujan, maybe you can do it better. How do you introduce in the interviews in the beginning that it's done together?
So we talk about okay. So local interview host for Kathmandu, so Nanmander is introducing this person in this interview, and in the end we write lockdown economy. Nepal is a collaboration between AlterContacts and NYEF. So that's how we publish the post on Facebook and Instagram.
Thank you very much, Sujan. So that's how we can do it with the association.
Yeah. I see that. So I didn't. So that wasn't my idea to use the associations, so their insights to the main research. But I mean, it could be like a special edition, and maybe it could be like a tool to attract their members. So making this interview, just slightly changing the questions, and this way they could, like publish or like post on their social media, surfaces and saying, okay, we partnered up with AlterContacts, and the
inbound marketing.
Yeah,
is inbound marketing. Precisely.
I think
it can work for marketing. We can actually do it. We do one, for example, as an extra that is not necessarily an interview, but is like a talk.
And maybe keep it shorter than 20 minutes,
that is
like
exactly.
5-7 minutes, just them introducing their association or something. Well, we have to discuss that, we have to look carefully at each idea, because we have a registered format, and we don't have much flexibility. And I know a lot of people on this call already know that.
But as soon as the form is up, you're welcome to write it down.
Yes, you're welcome to add it to the form with ideas.
Yay.
So,
and now Juan Ramon has been trying to talk for a while.
Yes, and Juan Ramon has been trying to talk. Juan Ramon.
I just have a question. Because I really kind of congratulate you for how you positioning like a brand, the lockdown economy. But I might ask a question, which is your vision for 2021? Talking about all this value that you have been creating, and also. You are aware about the news, what's happening with vaccine, and how people is actually really eager to go out of this lockdown economy at the same time. So which would be, I guess, your strategy for 2021? Maybe it's already there, maybe not. But how will be your exit strategy for the lockdown economy to keep this value that you already have creating? Maybe if you can explain that vision for 1 year, that will be working like a charm, but maybe 3 years, so that we can understand how we can grasp this value, because you already have a brilliant network.
I can honestly tell you, Juan Ramon, that we don't have a vision even beyond 1 month from now.
And we don't have our strategy is real time.
But what I can tell you is that for the next 3-4 months, we will continue doing the interviews, because for the next 3-4 months over the winter, the forecast is not going to change. And even if it does, you can still ask people, so what was the impact of lockdown and pandemic on your business? Even until the end of next year, that question will be valid. People will have something to share. So for the next year, I think we stick to the format. But you can already hear from Carolina, from Laszlo, there's some extra ideas, and from Sujan also with follow-ups, some extra ideas that popping up, and we're trying to make them, efficient, for the small businesses, and simple for the people to conduct it, and replicable, so that we can do it across geographies, because that's very, very important in our project. So if you have ideas about how we should go forward, also you can submit it in the idea
format.
Yeah. But it's true. Is absolutely, because we have a real-time strategy, right? We work only in sprints, so we are fully agile. We do not think what are we going to be doing in 3 years, because 1 year ago we didn't know we were going to be here.
Yes, and
I mean, even 6 months ago, this was nothing,
ago, we were taking a break.
Now we are talking with the United Nations.
And things change very fast, and we clearly gaining momentum, because more universities are approaching us, and they want to use that information for their students, because it's very inspiring and it's a real-time thing. But yes, we can discuss that all. I'm very happy
maybe
to.
someday we even open some services really like a business, you know, like to actually, because I mean, whatever is that we have, we live only on savings at this moment, some of us,
at this moment,
right?
yes.
So we are looking at how this, when the pandemic finally ends, we are looking at give again the consulting and the advisory to those who can pay, so we can maintain these things going on. Because of course, well, maybe that's not something not everybody knows, but in my heart, I'm a little bit of a Robin Hood, that I think that the big ones should pay for what the little ones don't have. And that's my dream, right? That I can then give consulting and helping big corporations into how they can really help the rest of the population of the earth.
And it's a beautiful idea. Now, I have a question from Sandra here. She's asking our transcribers if they're using the tools like vid.io. You can check it in the chat. Our transcribers are primarily, you know, I don't know, Deeptiana, you wanna answer for yourself, or I'm just gonna say that from people I know, they just listen and they type, because that's the fastest so far.
That can be on the chat. That is. I see.
Yes, I want to ask the United Nations, because you're getting so much valuable data. Is the United Nations or any municipality or something interested in it and doing something with it?
Yeah, not yet, because many of them do not know what is the result of this data. That's why we need the institutes. Mm-hmm. And the first one that is going to analyze is the guys in New Zealand. Is Resilience and Sustainability Institute. So they are looking really about the sustainability and resilience aspect. They're trying to hope to find what are the formulas or what can help people become more resourceful, become more capable to overcome the challenges. And not only the people, but also organizations and regions, right? So it becomes a more complex thing. But we target the people because it's the ones from which we know less. And for the rest, there's a lot.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. It can be very valuable information for the United Nations. Yeah.
I think we're still lacking the direct connection with the right people within the organization who need to be aware that we are doing it. Because, for example, our spreadsheet that is actually available in free. You know, I send the link to people who would like to access it, because all the information is available through the interviews themselves. I just categorized it in a spreadsheet, and it has, you know, the interviews we've done with links, and often the transcriptions already, the link to transcription. What's great to see is that it's beyond 100. And it's constantly getting updated, and it's a live document. So if you know a person in any organization that you think is like, this is valuable for them, just shoot them this link and tell them, you know, would you be interested in collaborating on this project? And I see a comment from John Peter about the interview. Do you wanna make it out loud, John Peter?
Yeah, tomorrow or Monday, I'll be talking to a guy from St. Martin Island. That's a Dutch part of the Netherlands Kingdom. St. Martin has been hit first by Irma, the tropical storm, and then by Corona. And people are actually starving now because it's a 25,000 island, 25,000 person island with some 85,000 undocumented persons as well. And big companies are now releasing their grounds, the hotels, whatever, to use it as a food bank, as a food garden for the people who don't have anything left to start eating and to start growing their own food. And so that's basic, back to the grassroots and rebuilding a society. And he's one of the guys trying to get ecotourism on the going. So I'm looking forward to it. I've met him a couple of times, and I think it's an inspiring change of world in a very small scale.
Okay, that's a really interesting thing. Maybe we can. Is there a way that I could join some conversation or something? Maybe we can, you know. I guess any thinking for sure has already helped, but maybe we can propagate whatever is the need they have. because it's a dramatic situation.
What we could do, I'll make the interview on Monday, that will be in Dutch, and then we can do it in English later this week or later next week and make it three-way interview.
We can also translate it maybe, and so we have it faster, because if we have some contact with media, we can also, I don't know, but we have to get cranked.
I'll check with him on Monday morning what would be the best thing to do.
Well, that sounds like a plan. And if everyone can just go on the video for a moment, Dipti and Michael, so that I can take a picture, and then we call it a day. You know, no funny.
Julia,
okay.
just a small question. Sorry, just I want to know if the 100 interviews, have you categorized per SDG?
Per SDG, no. That's the next step. But
okay.
per the size of the business,
we contribute
sector,
to 5. We contribute to 5 SDGs with the lockdown economy across the
SDG 8, economic growth, SDG 9, social innovation.
I get that is a contribution from the lockdown economy, right? But probably you have the entrepreneur that he wants to contribute in a different SDG. What I'm trying to say is, if you can have like a link between the interview and the SDG,
I like that idea. I like that idea very much.
Yeah.
I think we have to park it. Now, everyone smile so we can take a picture. 1, 2, 3. Okay, perfect. I hope everyone turned out well. And Juan Ramon.
Can we have one making faces?
Okay, fine. I'm not going to make faces. Okay, but you can. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right. So on that note, Juan Ramon, great idea. I will send you the link to the spreadsheet. You can see what we have so far, and then you can, type me how you envision that it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I thank you so much, everyone, for being here today. I really appreciate your time, your energy, your enthusiasm. It's been an uplifting and wonderful meeting, and I'm looking forward to follow up everything that's been discussed today with each of you. So, you know my email. So if you have ideas, questions, comments, suggestions, anything, you can shoot me an email. And I will share also the follow-up. There will be a follow-up email to this meeting with links to the map, with links to the idea form, the recording, and so on and so forth. And a very important one, I invite you to check out our social media today, because we have shared an article written by one of our volunteers, Susanna Brianza, about the volunteers of lockdown economy. So please have a look, have a read, like it, and I hope it will make you feel good. And thank you so much. Massimo, you want to finish with a thank you?
I only want to say thank you. Thank you. I do not know enough languages as to say it in all the languages that I would like to say it. Also because the majority of the languages that are here, well, I could say some, but it wouldn't be fair. And the thank you would not be enough. So
it would have been shorter if you just said it in the languages you knew.
Thank you, grazie, merci, danke, danku.
Gracias.
Gracias. Domo arigato. Köszönöm szépen.
Spasiba.
Spasiba, of course.
All right. Thank you very much. And thank you so much for joining. And we will see you soon. Bye.